Shanti. Welcome to Avyakt Journey, Avyakt Parivar Chitchat, exploring together the depths of Baba's wisdom. So, welcome, dear angel brother Eric.
Om Shanti, loving greetings to each and every one. And of course, special greetings to the Avyakti Parivar team and to you, our dear Mohini Didi. So nice to be again joining you. And I enjoyed listening also to your class in Hindi with English translation. And I really feel it takes us so much into the experience of being in Madhuban. Hearing in Hindi and English translation, it's what we do in Madhuban all the time, and it's so beautiful. So thank you for connecting us to the source in so many ways. And I think I would like to know, Mohini Didi, if it's okay to go back again into the treasure store of your memories and that magic moment of the period between the 18th of January and 21st. Is it okay if we go back again into that film? Yes. I know it's such a precious, chapter of history, isn't it? It's unique. And I think what you told us, yesterday, but last weekend as well, I think it's making something in our mind, thinking, wow, the Baba seems so unlimited that to grasp really who he is, what he says, what he does, is fascinating. We don't get tired of exploring that. So if you could take us back again in that period of time, I was wondering, like I was asking you yesterday, do you remember the first time you heard Bab Dada's voice? When he whispers, what was your reaction? What did you think? Or
you talk of Avyakt Bab Dada.
Avyakt Bab Dada, yeah. Avyakt Bab Dada, when his voice was whispering, what was your reaction when you saw and heard that?
Yeah. Om Shanti.
Yeah, Om Shanti.
Whatever I shared yesterday is my understanding and my belief until now. But if it causes any confusion, Baba's family is welcome to ask, because I know some of the concepts could be not heard before or different. But this is what because my nature is what I hear truth, I keep it as it is. Interpretations and explanations can be different, but the factual what it is it. And what is very interesting, God as a human and human in God in the sense of, so that means through Brahma Baba, God was expressing himself as a human, no? And that was for me, was very comforting, because if he was acting as a God, I don't know how much we would have understood. But whatever he was doing through Brahma Baba, sit with children and do karma yoga. In the morning after Amrit Vela, Baba will walk. We all will follow Brahma Baba. It's like seeing God in action or using knowledgeful ocean of knowledge in action was, I could relate a lot. And because I always believed in God since childhood. I always believed he is highest, but also I always believed we are equals, in the sense of I am God's child. So he should be like me or I should be like him. And that is why this whole concept of Bab Saman is not a big thing. Because deeply, each one of us, we have that godliness deep within, that divinity as another stage. And from that godly, I just always compare that like moonlight, It becomes like very, very much like new moon, but it never extinguished, right? But then it keep increasing the degrees of the light and become 16, 15, and that reduces. So understanding of soul and everything with the examples which Baba gave. Now, when it came to, I'm still trying to recollect what was my response to. But I could feel that because, it's like subtle, Baba, Angelic Baba or Avyakt Baba and Shiv Baba combined, right? They, when you speak through Brahma, through Dadi Gulzar, sound was like as if it's coming from subtle regions, as if Baba is speaking from there. So I think that definitely all of us were a little bit like it's different, but we knew one of the action which God will do in whatever stage, whether Shiv Baba with Brahma Baba or Avyakt Baba, will be to take us beyond the sound. Because that's his aim, to make us angels. So in a way, Baba also was indicating to us how should be our conversation, not whisper, but it's like deep and sensible and very gentle. And so I just felt as if he's taking us not in a speaking tone, like regular talk, but just speak Baba's speech as angel. Generally, people always says God came and whispered. And there is a saying also in one of the whispers of God. That means God always whispers in your ears. He never speaks to you. But we know that when he came with Brahma Baba, he spoke to us. But then after that, he was whispering, and secrets are always whispered. I will never speak loud. This is the secret. No? I will say, come, I tell you the secret. And I really go in a low volume and a very soft voice. And so I just thought that somewhere deeply, Baba is touching us through that voice, first for us to go beyond loud voices but come to whispering in each other's ears what Baba is saying. What Baba. I remember many times Dadis, come, I want to tell you something. Sit next to me. And she will very slowly, gently, like he's whispering, this is what Baba said for you. This is what you can do, like whisper. So that's how I see it. And so I still believe that truth and secrets has to be whispered. And that's what was happening.
When you started to pay attention, I'm sure, to the content of the Avyakt Murlis, you must have, like everyone saw, that they were a little bit different from Sakar Murlis. Do you remember if you were trying to understand how it was working between Shiv Baba and Brahma Baba in that Avyakt form compared to the Sakar form? And were you trying to hear is Brahma Baba's voice also with Shiv Baba's voice? Or what was your analysis at the time of the Avyakt Murli?
Sakar Baba, Shiv Baba gave us all the concepts of knowledge. Whatever knowledge, all the concepts were cleared by Baba, Brahma Baba. Now when we are practicing and we have reached to some stage, what is we needed next to that? That's what Avyakt Baba was telling us, taking us beyond different stages, different practices, and because we already had full knowledge in a way through Sakar Baba, right? So it's not Avyakt Baba that is giving us knowledge. But how to become awake is what he was. Every morning you listen like he's taking us in awake state, the stage of perfection. That's what my feeling is. I didn't analyze who what because I was just seeing that at this time he's sustaining us to take us beyond, to make us angels, and that's how I feel.
The reason I'm asking, I don't think it's about also for me a question of doubting or anything, but it's curiosity of how Brahma Baba that you saw in the physical body as Sakar Brahma. I'm guessing at the time, people must have been curious to know. I know there was both messages where he explained what happened to him when he left. But I'm sure many must have been curious to know, well, how is he doing? You know, in a subtle world, how is he living there? He's not eating anymore. He's not sleeping anymore. He's just talking now. He's giving vision. And I'm sure you must have been curious about what is Brahma Baba really as a soul becoming, and how is he combined now with Shiv Baba? Is, like you said in other talk, that Shiv Baba was not always, of course, in Brahma Baba's body. He was coming, going. So in such a region, are they always combined, or is Shiv Baba also going up and down?
Yeah. Whenever, not recently, but when we go to offer bhog, we always see Shiv Baba coming from Paramdham in Avyakt Brahma and accepting bhog. So definitely he goes and comes. But Avyakt Bab also has a form there, and that is subtle form, right? And subtle body doesn't need food, doesn't need sleep. But he has, it's not he goes to Paramdham. So he's not only a soul, but he's soul in the subtle body, angelic body. So he doesn't have any physical requirements, right? But it's just like serving, like in Sakar. Baba used to emphasize a lot on Mansa Seva. And Baba used to emphasize a lot on where there is a Baba had thought and how children are born through the thought. So the creation and sustenance, which both are important, both roles Brahma Baba, Avyakt Baba is playing at this time also, creating children. That means many children which are born, majority, all the Brahmins actually are born through Avyakt Baba now. Like we are Brahma Baba's progeny. So Brahma Baba's creation is continuing now. And actually when I'm answering you, I didn't thought, but now I am kind of getting this when you said what he does. So it's emerging in me. He does same what he was doing when he was in Sakar. And that is why Baba said, I have to become awake so that you all can also join me on that journey. But task will continue. So what Avyakt Baba is doing there, it's like his rays and his it's not his thinking, but his energy, power of thought is not necessarily through thought, but that energy of mind. I think it's still creation is happening. So all this new creation, Baba calls it Alaukik and Avyakt creation. And also because he has to sustain, right? So even now, his part is over through Dadi Gulzar, but he is still playing the part, right? Because one time, it's not only limit of the body of Dadi Gulzar, but Baba also said he gave whatever he had to give. Now it is up to us to practice, to become, to implement. But Sakash is still coming from there. I still feel very connected, not only with Shiv Baba, but with Avyakt Baba. I was connected with Sakar Brahma, and now I always feel I'm being sustained by Avyakt Baba. So he's playing the part of Brahma and Vishnu at this time. And of course, helping us to be Shankar so that we can destroy all the obstacles which come and all the past sins which are there. So it's a very interesting, which I feel what I am saying is that he's still playing the part of Brahma, so Vishnu.
You said earlier that you hold on to the truth as you believe it. I don't know if for others, I don't think it disturbs anyone. I mean, I hope it's not disturbing anyone. For me, it's actually, I find it very stimulating, because I don't know about others with many years with Baba, but it's like we put aside a little bit certain question. I used to teach, with the poster Brahmapuri, Vishnupuri, Shankapuri. And he used to ask me, what is this? There's a new lecture. There's Shankar Chapati and Vishnu Chapati, and there's also Shankar Puri. And I said, I don't know. There's all kind of different things. It was a little bit, it was mysterious in a way. And we understood, I think, certain things. And then I realized that if I need to understand more, Baba will tell me. And I stopped thinking too much about it. But now it's like almost like 25 years later. Yesterday we talked about Brahma, Vishnu, Shankar, and I thought, oh yeah, I forgot about them. And so I don't know if anyone is disturbed, but to me it's quite stimulating. It's very intriguing, very interesting. And like what you said now about how, sorry, go ahead.
One thing I want to tell you, yesterday we were talking about Puri, means it's a little island or little piece of, so there is incorporeal world, it's whole light, right? And within that, when they were there were 3 levels. Mm-hmm. Like I could go up to Shankarpuri, but not to incorporeal. And this is what I'm telling, I saw in trance. So there was Brahmapuri is white, and then we go Vishnupuri, Shankarpuri. But they were not there, so they don't need that space, right? So then it is just incorporeal world, but it's just one region. And within the one region, there were these 3 spaces. And now there are no 3 spaces, no Puris there.
No Puri.
No Puris, they are just incorporeal world. And no, not incorporeal, just whole space is subtle region. And then is incorporeal. Right? So there is a border. That means I can go to subtle regions, but I cannot enter incorporeal world. But when I was young, Baba, at least let me peep it. Let me see what is incorporeal world. Baba said, just glimpse you can have. So I will see very, very beautiful golden, orange color light, That's all, not more than that, because can't enter right there. Once I go, I won't be able to come back, right? Only Shiv Baba can go and come. And
okay, don't try too hard, Mohini Didi. Don't try too hard. We want you to come back. Every time you offer bow, you have to come back. But when you said yesterday that Vishnu and Shankar were souls and they had a part and their part was over, so those puris, those regions, which we usually represent like, golden for Vishnu and a little bit reddish for Shankar Puri, like you said, they were not there anymore. But when you went into trance, did you see the image of Vishnu in a region that was different from such a region? Like it was not white? And did you see Shankar ever as a form?
Yeah, because see, actually, in path of worshipping, there is a big identity of Brahma, Vishnu, Shankar. Of course, there is worshipping of Shivalinga and centers. There are 100, 1,000 some temples for Shiva in that image of, they call it Shivling or image of the light. So they have that, but also lot of worshipping is of Brahma, Vishnu, Shankar. Every time there is People have to get blessings every time they want something for their fortune. They will worship Brahma, and then they, for different things, they worship all three of them. So we cannot deny their identity, right? Because there is a lot of worshipping of them. But of course, at this time, for us, we don't see their role. But as I said, Brahma is playing his part. Vishnu is also Brahma, so Vishnu. And I have to think maybe Shankar playing part too somewhere, but or our own image of tapasya. So what I'm saying that even if they're not there in certain regions, they're still playing their part, especially Brahma, so Vishnu. Otherwise, how can creation continue? It should finish, right? Stop now. There is no creator, no creation. And how are we being sustained? It's really amazing when you see, we don't see expansion much here, but if you go in India and see thousands and thousands, and it's like creation is increasing. I was telling someone, this is the fourth president who met Baba Avyakt Baba. Fourth one. Just imagine a Brahma Kumari as president of India, largest populated country. So sometimes the what God is doing, we're not aware, in the sense of we only see very limited way. But whenever I think, I say, amazing, Baba, you continue with your task in your own way. And I was mentioning little bit of how internally one need to be clear, because Asha Didi called me that in ORC, they're expecting president on 9th. And like I am there on 9th in Delhi, but my flight is earlier. So she said, oh, we heard, can you come and connect with her? So I'm just thinking, how will it work? My ticket has been bought and all that. So then I was saying, Baba said, knowledgeful soul is a very clear word. So let's see what's clarity. But what I'm saying that God, Brahma, Vishnu, whatever, but they all are very active. Very active.
But I found it fascinating the way you shared yesterday that Vishnu and Shankar had a time of activity in the beginning, and then you said that their part was over after a while when Brahma was ready. They're still
it was in the subtle region. It was over, but
yeah,
it was over as in the image.
Mm-hmm.
But, creation continuing, right?
Yeah, but the creation continues.
We didn't need it, subtle Brahma there, because they already had a Brahma who became Avyakt. So.
Well, our time is up already. I feel like we just started. So we'll continue tomorrow. I have more questions, and I think we all find it very fascinating. And I think for me, it helps me to understand Baba more. Like you said, in a bigger scale. And I really like the thought you shared that Baba, God, has to reveal himself in a human form. So tomorrow, I think I'd like to ask you if Bab Saman is being equal to that human form of Baba, or Bab Saman is becoming equal to the godly, divine form of God. So I think it's fascinating.
Both should be same, no?
Both? Okay.
Anyway.
It's a teaser. It's a teaser for tomorrow. It's the headline for tomorrow. Coming soon in Avyakti Parivar, Bab Saman. We need maybe Pumi. We can now create these new teaser for coming up soon. Don't miss tomorrow. Anyway, always very, very fascinating. Thank you so much for accepting to go into these these topics, and I'm sure everyone is enjoying tremendously. So I think I'll start to see more Vishnu and Shankar now in Ahmedvena maybe tomorrow. I'll know if they come, why they come.
We shouldn't lose our connection with them.
No, that's good. All right. Thank you so much. Good night, Mohini Didi, and actually tomorrow evening again to be continued.
Okay.
Auntie.